Hello, hi, welcome to another video, another Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction long list video. This is the 10th book I've read from the long list. We're getting there slowly but surely, and this video is all about The Heart in Winter by Kevin Barry. So this tells the story of two young lovers who are, let's say, come from a troubled background. Both each separately have had their issues in the past growing up. The story is set in Butte, Montana in 1891 in the winter. So we start off in the October time, and we have Tom Rourke, who is the main male protagonist. He's late 20s, a bit of a dropout. He likes a drink, he does the drugs. And yeah, he doesn't really do a lot. He works part-time for a photographer, and that's how he meets Polly Gillespie, who is recently, well, just turned up into Butte. She's come to marry some rich manager of a mine. She literally steps off the train, marries him, and then they have this picture taken, and that's where the two young lovers meet. It's a whirlwind romance. They run off together, and the story follows them on their journey running off together. So, what do I think? So to be honest, The Heart in Winter is probably not one of my favourites from the long list. It's down there with Munich's for me, and there's two reasons really that it kind of misses out on 5 stars. It's still very well written in places and uses some nice language, but the two reasons why it's not 5 stars for me is the writing style and also the story itself. So the writing style, it very much feels like it's written in the voice of Tom Rourke throughout, but it's a third person narrative. So I'm not sure if it's just meant to sound like someone from Butte, Montana telling the story in third person narrative, but it's used that narrative voice throughout the whole story. And it can be quite jarring. Like there's sentences I had to reread just because it didn't make sense as I was reading it. It's not written how I would read it. And if that's a character's speech, you can almost overlook it. But for me, it was just a bit too much, a bit too arty, very literary in places. I mean, there's a whole chapter, I think chapter 6, and for me, it just didn't add anything to the story. It was just a chapter of really nice words. And don't get me wrong, they are really nice words. It's beautiful in places, but it just, yeah, it was hard for me to read along. But also the story, I didn't feel there was much of it. It's a very short book, just over 200 pages, but it felt very quick, like too quick with the pace sometimes. You know, you had Polly turning up in Butte, and all of a sudden she's in love with Tom, and they've only just met, and now they're running away. And we follow the journey very quickly, briefly, to the end. So I'd like a bit more character development just to see, because about 2/3 in, I did actually quite like that part of the story, but I'd like a bit more of the character development at the beginning, maybe a bit of backstory as well, just to, you know, like Clear by Caris Davis, which is on the long list that I did near the beginning. It's a very short book, but you manage to get some of the characters' backstories as well as their relationship development. And that's what I feel I miss from this book. It just feels very quick, and I felt like a little bit rushed maybe, which maybe dampened my experience. And this is just a personal experience. This isn't anything against the author or the writing itself. There's going to be fans for this. There's a whole reason it's been longlisted. You know, all the long listees are very talented. They put together a whole lot better work than I would ever do. So it's purely personal opinion and personal preference. But yeah, it just didn't work for me. But that's not to say it wouldn't work for a whole load of other people. It was just, yeah, the writing style I found quite difficult to get along with, and also the story just a bit too short. But, you know, it's still, as I said, got some nice language throughout. About 2/3 of the way, I was pretty engrossed in the story. I just wanted a bit more from it. But for me, yeah, it's just, with Munich's, the 4 stars out of the group I've read so far. I've read 10 of the books, so 2 of them are the 4 stars, and I've got 8 5-stars, so it's going to be very difficult for me to try and whittle my shortlist down. But that's my thoughts on The Heart in Winter. So I go away tomorrow. There's still 2 books I haven't read, A Sign of Her Own and The Land in Winter. I'm going to take both of them away with me, whether I get them read. They're both fairly lengthy. I'll try my best. I've got a 3.5 plane journey to do there and back, so that may be a good chunk of one of the books. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make any of the reaction videos while I'm away. If I do, great. If not, when I get back on the Wednesday next week, that is when the shortlist is announced. So I'm not going to look at any social media before I get home. I'll set up my camera. If I've read any of the other 2 books, I'll do a quick reaction to what I thought of those. I'll do my top sort of 6 shortlist, and then I'll try and do a prediction for the shortlist as well. And then I'll react to the shortlist. So that's my plan for next week. If I get a chance to record and upload, I'm not taking any laptop or anything with me, so we'll see. But that's the plan. We'll see how it goes along. Anyway, that's my thoughts on The Heart. No, The Heart in Winter, not The Land in Winter. That's the other book. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Bye.